Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 149th meeting of the Durfee Alumni Association. My name is Lisa Lundy-Cousinetz, Durfee class of '78, and I've been happy to serve as president of the association this past year. Could we please stand as we pledge allegiance to the flag, as well as sing the national anthem performed by the Durfee High Orchestra. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. I'd like to introduce our guests on the stage this evening. In the front row, I have Mr. Bob Collins, retired Chief Executive Officer of Bank 5. One of our honorees, Mr. William Eccles, class of '69. Ms. Kristen Garvin, Assistant Athletic Director of Durfee High. And the daughters of our other honoree, Tom Skip Karam, Jennifer Karam Medeiros, and Liz McCarthy. In the middle row, we have our distinguished Mayor Paul Coogan and our superintendent, Dr. Tracy Curley. And in the far row, we have the president of the trustees of the Forever Scholarship, Claudine Cloutier, and Mr. Jason Gray, the vice principal here at Durfee. I would also like to recognize our one distinguished alumnus that we have with us tonight, Mr. James Karam, class of '65. We will now have a short business meeting. In your program are the minutes from last year's meeting. Do we have a motion to waive the reading of the minutes? Anyone like to make a second? All in favor? All right, we will now have a reading of the treasurer's report. Would anyone like to make a motion to waive that? Great. All in favor? Thank you very much. The report from the nominating committee for the 2025-26 year. Our new nominees are Jeff Davis, class of 1990, Nathan Wadicor, class of '97, and Zachary Wadicor, class of 2001. We have for an honorary member, Dorothy Nicolo, class of 1955. And the slate of officers for the coming 25-26 year, Lisa Lundy-Cousinetz, class of '78, Kristen Garvin, class of '90, Joseph Costa, treasurer, Kristen Garvin, vice president, Joseph Costa, treasurer, class of 81, and Judith Conrad, class of 70, as secretary. Are there any nominations from the floor? Okay, motion to accept the nominating committee report? All in favor? Thank you. And that's it for the business meeting. I would like now to introduce Claudine Cloutier, President of the Trustees of the Fall River Alumni Scholarships.
I'm pleased to report on behalf of the trustees of the Fall River High School Alumni Scholarship Fund that the fund currently stands at approximately $16.5 million. The details of how the funds are held and money received during the 2024 calendar year may be found in your program. This year, we welcomed Bill Kiley as a new trustee who joined us in interviewing every scholarship applicant. Scholarships are awarded in consideration of academic and extracurricular achievement as well as need. This year, 27 recipients were selected. Scholarship recipients. As with any privilege, there comes a corresponding responsibility. You may receive your scholarships over the next 4 years of your full-time academic career. You must maintain and report your grades every semester before you receive your next disbursement. The instructions for reporting are in your award letters. Please keep and follow those instructions. All right, that's the dry part. Tonight, you should savor this moment as we recognize your success. You've distinguished yourselves among your peers and have, through your own merit, earned these awards. While tonight is a time to celebrate, it is also a time to reflect and appreciate those who have supported, educated, and loved you, those people who have shaped your foundation and have prepared you to meet the challenges that lie ahead. Through the scholarships you receive tonight, you reap the benefit of the achievement and generosity of others. The trustees have received donations from alumni living halfway around the world, in every region of the United States, and many living right here in Fall River, all of them connected by a loyalty to where they came from and of paying it forward. The list of scholarships in your programs reflects an array of donors with different backgrounds, different professions, and different talents. What all of our benefactors have in common is a deep sense of gratitude toward the community that helped shape them and a resulting generous spirit to help those that follow in their path. As you head off to college and to your new challenges, please remember where you came from with that same gratitude. I'm very happy to announce tonight that in 2025, a new fund has been established by the family of Dr. Robert Schwartz to mark the occasion of his 90th birthday. Dr. Schwartz's parents worked in the factories in Fall River and instilled in him the values of hard work and perseverance. They encouraged him in his education, and he went on to attend Brown University and Boston University School of Medicine. He joined the Navy and married Carol Krasnow, who I believe was the primary motivator behind honoring Dr. Schwartz with a scholarship. Dr. Schwartz served as a naval physician during the Vietnam War and was later promoted to the rank of commander. He became the chief of medicine at the Naval Hospital in Chelsea. Later, he returned to Fall River, where he spent many years practicing as a primary care physician while also serving as a clinical assistant professor at Brown. I want to thank Dr. Schwartz for his work and his family for celebrating his birthday with their donation. The Alumni Association added over $5,000 to its scholarship and worked tirelessly to strengthen the bonds among the alumni community. Michael Duart has contributed $5,000 annually to the Ann Biltcliffe Duart, class of 1971, and Ruth Melnick Biltcliffe, class of 1972 Memorial Scholarship, and in 2024 brought that fund to $80,000. I know that he's already donated in 2025, so it's now at $85,000. The Stavros, Brayton, and Potash families continually add to their respective funds, as does Ada Wilders Jackson, who I'm pleased to report has been able to join us today from California. So I was very happy to meet her in person. For many years, the Harrington brothers, Dr. John Harrington, former trustee Dr. Dan Harrington, and the Honorable Edward Harrington, who was the distinguished alumnus in 1995, contributed annually to the John J. and Elizabeth C. Harrington Memorial Scholarship Fund. 2024 and 2025 were no different. Sadly, we lost the last of the three brothers, Judge Harrington, in March. In February, just a month before his passing, Judge Harrington contacted me to make sure we had received the most recent installment. With the 2025 donation, that scholarship fund was brought to $150,000. The Harringtons' devotion to Durfee graduates was unsurpassed. Their philanthropy and their success as physicians and as a federal judge were truly exemplary, and they are sorely missed by the alumni community. In September, the trustees and the entire alumni community suffered the loss of trustee president Peter G. Coleus. When I first started working as a trustee with Peter, he was already in his 70s, but his energy and enthusiasm for the scholarship program was immeasurable. He was a mentor to every trustee and was particularly so to me. This year's seniors didn't know what they were missing by not meeting Mr. Coleus. You were the first class in approximately 40-something that has not met Mr. Coleus during this interview process. Peter graduated from Durfee as class president and valedictorian in 1949, then from Harvard College, summa cum laude, and next from Harvard Law School. Upon the death of his father, he returned to Fall River, where he had a successful law practice from which he retired at age 86. He was married to his wife, Jean, for 65 years until Jean's death in 2020. Together, Jean and Peter raised 4 children, Michelle, George, John, and Philip. In 1948, during Durfee basketball's first undefeated season, Pete hit a buzzer beater at the Boston Garden that sent the semifinal game into overtime. Durfee went on to win the New England Championship. Peter's professional and civic activities and awards were numerous and included being a founding member of Slade's Ferry Trust Company. In 1997, he was recognized as a distinguished Durfee alumnus. As his family noted in Peter's obituary, in the long list of selfless contributions that he gave to his beloved Fall River, and in particular to the high school that gave him his start, Peter held his work as the president of the Durfee Alumni Scholarship Committee highest in his affection. Peter served as president of the trustees for over 40 years. I recall him at my own scholarship interview. Not only did he personally meet and correspond with literally thousands of Durfee seniors, he shepherded the portfolio and increased it nearly 15-fold to where it is today at over $16 million, all to ensure its health for future generations of Durfee graduates. Peter's incredibly sharp wit was deeply missed during this year's interviews. We know he is irreplaceable, but I and all of the trustees are privileged to carry on Peter's work and honor his legacy. Peter and all of our donors have shared a commitment to make sure you, Durfee graduates and scholarship recipients, enjoy the opportunity that your talent and hard work deserve. Please, like Peter, Judge Harrington, Dr. Schwartz, and all of our donors, while you strive toward new horizons, never forget the people and the high school that gave you your start. On behalf of the trustees, I commend you on your achievements. We are excited to see not only how each of you will realize the best in yourselves, but also in this proud Durfee tradition, how each of you will inspire the best in others. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Claudine. I'd like to ask Mayor Paul Coogan to say a few words.
Obviously, it's a very special night, and I just want all the families, the students, and everyone involved with Durfee High School to know how much the city of Fall River appreciates the effort that goes in to getting these kids ready for the next step in their life. It's very, very special. These are kids that are very, very successful, and I tip my hat to all of them, and I applaud the work that was done by both the parents, the staff, and everyone at Durfee High School to get them ready. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to have Dr. Tracy Curley come to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. Seniors, families, members of the Alumni Association, distinguished Alumni Awards recipients, and other distinguished guests. It's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight as we come together to celebrate something truly special at Durfee High School, the promise and potential of the class of 2025. This event is one of my favorites at Durfee. It's in the top 3, along with College Signing Day and Chords and Awards. Each of these honors in its own way academic achievement, character, perseverance, and a whole host of qualities exhibited by students who have successfully completed another leg of a lifelong journey. But tonight is special in that this ceremony is a tradition truly rooted in community. The scholarships being awarded tonight are made possible by those who came before you, alumni who walked the halls of Durfee's past, sat in auditoriums of the time, and carried with them into high school and graduation the same excitement and uncertainty about what comes next. More than 30 years ago, as a 1991 graduate of Durfee High School, I was also the recipient of an alumni scholarship. At the time, I didn't fully understand what it meant or what it would come to mean. I was grateful in the moment for the award, and each year for the checks that paid for my textbooks, taking one worry off the table at the start of each semester. But looking back and having lived and learned forward, I can tell you this. I have come to understand that these awards are less about money and more about faith. They are a vote of confidence, a message that people in this community, your community, believe in you enough to invest in your future. To our alumni donors and committee members, I want to thank you for keeping this tradition alive. Your generosity is more than a gift, it's a legacy of which we are all so proud. And to our seniors, you've made it through challenges, changes, and triumphs. You've grown not just academically, but personally, and you've done it all at a time that has demanded resilience, adaptability, and strength. As you receive your award this evening, my hope is that you will understand it for what it is. It's about community, reaffirming its shared belief in you, in all of which you are capable. And I want you to internalize what that means tonight, not 20 or 30 years later, like I did. As we share in this celebration this evening, I hope each of you take a moment to feel the pride, the possibility, and the support that surrounds you. You are ready for what comes next, and I can't wait to see where you go. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Curley. I'd like to ask Dr. Jessica Stevens, the principal of Durfee High, to come and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you tonight as we celebrate legacy, generosity, and the enduring bonds that connect us through the one and only BMC Durfee High School. First, a heartfelt thank you to the Durfee Alumni Association. Your commitment to our students through scholarships, mentorship, and your presence here tonight means more than words can express. You are a living example of what it means to give back, to invest in others, and to believe in the next generation. To our award recipients, congratulations. You've earned this moment through dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to grow. But tonight is about more than recognition. It is about the passing of a torch. The alumni around you once walked the same halls, faced their own challenges, and dreamed of their futures. Not exactly the same halls, but you get it. Just like you. Now they stand as leaders, professionals, and changemakers, showing us all what it means to live with purpose and impact. At Durfee, we don't just aim to prepare students for tests or diplomas, we strive to prepare them for meaningful lives. The Alumni Association reflects the values we hope to build upon every day: service, resilience, and a lasting connection to something bigger than ourselves. To the alumni, thank you for modeling those values so powerfully. Your impact goes far beyond scholarships. You remind us that the Durfee experience continues long after graduation. So tonight we celebrate not only achievement, but the community that makes achievement possible. Together we build a bridge between past and future, grounded in pride, generosity, and hope. That's what makes Durfee truly special. Congratulations again to all award recipients. We are eager to see where your journey takes you. And one day, we know you'll be back, giving back, just like those who inspire you tonight. Shine on, Hilltoppers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Stevens. Okay, let's give out some scholarships. I'd like to ask Claudine and Jason Gray to come to the podium.
Good evening. The first scholarship is the Robert L. Ferreira Memorial Scholarship and Robert A. Richard and Patricia L. Richard Memorial Scholarship, and John A. Cavallo Scholarship are awarded to Amira Ahmad, who will be attending Simmons University in the fall. The Class of 1960 Scholarship is awarded to Alani Anez Spinola, who will be attending University of Massachusetts Amherst. The George E. Duvall Scholarship is awarded to Nina Azimi, who will be attending Wesley College in the fall. The Richard and Cecile Cloutier Scholarship and James A. Brown Scholarships are awarded to Braden Bartley, who will be attending the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. The Class of 1924 Scholarship and the Stephen J. Naraki and Class of 1954 Scholarships are awarded to Dorian Brennan, who will be attending the University of Rochester. The Allen L. Jerabak Memorial Scholarship and Class of 1928 Scholarship is awarded to Casey Cavallo, who will be attending Centenary University in the fall. The Charles V. Carroll Scholarship, and Arthur W., Annie M., and Lydia M. Smith Scholarship, and Class of 1991, Douglas Cavallo, and Todd E. Madgcut Scholarship, and the Phoenix Memorial Scholarship, Carol, mother, and Andrew, son, Class of 1988 scholarships are awarded to Casey Curran, who will be attending Westfield State University. The John S. Brayton Scholarship and Thomas K. Brindle, Class of 1925 Scholarship, and John T. and Louis B. Crowley Scholarship, and Elizabeth R. Stevens Scholarships are awarded to Landon D. Medeiros, who will be attending Bryant University. The Helen Simmons Scholarship is awarded to Emily DePaula Freitas, who will be attending the University of Massachusetts Amherst. The Edward F. and Rose S. Smith Scholarship, and Frank C. and Alice R. Chase Scholarships are awarded to Madison Ferrero, who will be attending Northeastern University. The BMC Durfee High School Athletic Association Ernest Baruti Scholarship and Aaron Dashoff Memorial Scholarship, and BMC Durfee High School Athletic Association William H. Barker Scholarship and Herman P. Mello Scholarships are awarded to Jacob Furtado, who will be attending Bryant University. The Dr. Joseph M. Rocket Scholarship, Class of 1942, and Class of 1931 Scholarship, and Class of 1943 Scholarships are awarded to Michaela Gonzalez, who will be attending Emmanuel College. The Fall River Women's Union Scholarship and Helen C. Reddy Memorial Scholarship and Mary A. Draper Scholarship, the Robert J. Nagel and M. Rita Nagel and are awarded to Zoe Grajales, who will be attending Plymouth State University. The Richard B. Butler, MD, and Milton J. Gilbert, MD Scholarship, and Eleanor F. McKee Scholarships are awarded to Ava Gilmet, who will be attending the University of Rhode Island. The Edward F. and Rose S. Smith Scholarship is awarded to Kaylee Kuzinitz, who will be attending the University of Glasgow. The James Madison Morton III and Michael J. Sullivan Memorial Scholarships, and James H. and Eunice T. Mullen Scholarships, and Hugo V. Violet Memorial Class of 1933 Scholarships are awarded to Forrest Malo, who will be attending the University of Tampa. The Harold R. Bannister Scholarship and Eleanor F. McKee Scholarships are awarded to Owen Monis, who will be attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. The Richard and Cecile Cloutier Scholarship is awarded to William Pierce, who will be attending Providence College. The Edward F. and Rose S. Smith Scholarship is awarded to Haley Robertson, who will be attending Regis College. the Richard B. Butler, MD, and Milton J. Gilbert, MD Scholarship, and Annie Jennings Anthony Scholarships are awarded to William Rumsey, who will be attending Brown University. The Richard B. Butler, MD, and Milton J. Gilbert, MD Scholarship, and Albert G. Pierce Memorial Scholarships are awarded to Olivia Rumsey, who will also be attending Brown University. The Harold L. Bannister, in memory of James Edward Bannister and Catherine Manning Bannister Scholarship, and Carmi A. Belmont Scholarships are awarded to Katarina Rumsey, Brown University. The Alan J. Jerabak Memorial Scholarship and Class of 1943 scholarships are awarded to Abigail Sanders, who will be attending Emmanuel College. The Evelyn E. Mason and Nancy J. French Scholarship, and Joseph Andrews Scholarship, and Oliver S. and Mary E. Hawes Scholarship are awarded to Anthony Sweet, who will be attending Mass Maritime Academy. The Durfee Southern Reunion Scholarship and Class of 1943 scholarships are awarded to Brooke Tabikis, who will be attending Sacred Heart University. The Durfee Southern Reunion and Class of 1984 scholarships are awarded to Madison Tabikis, who will be attending Northeastern University. The Ronald Lemire Scholarship Fund and Morris and Ida Horvitz Scholarship and Jerome Namus Scholarship and William H. Lambert, William Lindsay Scholarships are awarded to Marilise Valcarel, who will be attending the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Can we get a round of applause for all of our recipients?
Please feel free to take pictures while they're still here. Okay. We will now have the Durfee High Orchestra play us a selection. Thank you very much, Ms. Turgeon, and the high school orchestra. It was excellent. I'd like to now introduce Mr. Bob Collins, who will be honoring our first distinguished alumnus. Mr. Collins?
Thank you. Good evening. Congratulations to all of tonight's award recipients. When Bill asked me to introduce him tonight, he said that he was humbled to be in the company of so many distinguished individuals, and candidly, he didn't know if he fit. Bill has been a lifelong advocate for the community, for volunteerism, and as far as family. And if you had a chance to read his bio, I think you could see that he is deserving. He also told me that introductions are typically very sincere. They last 5 or 10 minutes, and there's no place for humor. So I went back and I looked at the award recipients for the last several years, and I realized that there is a place of humor. I suspect he just didn't want me to roast him tonight. So I'll respect his wishes for the most part. After graduation, Bill went to work at Bank 5, which was known as the Fall River 5-cent Savings Bank back then. He started as a customer service rep, became a management trainee, a manager, a lending officer responsible for the bank's 6 branches, and eventually all lending. In 1989, he was promoted to senior vice president and led the bank through the challenging recession of the 90s. Bill was promoted to executive vice president and chief operating officer in 2009, and in 2010 was named the president and chief executive officer, where he served until he retired in 2020. During Bill's tenure at the bank, it grew from $45 million to more than $1 billion. He worked for 5 presidents: Doug Richardson, Don Bogle, Tim Cotter, John McSweeney, and Tom Lyons. Bill attributes much of his success to learning from these leaders. Along the way, Bill also joined the Massachusetts Army National Guard, serving for 8 years in a field artillery unit and attaining the rank of staff sergeant. He also pursued his education through numerous bank development programs from the Savings Bank Association of Massachusetts and numerous commercial lending and development programs. He then earned an associate's degree from Fisher Junior College in 1981. He completed 2 programs at Fairfield University, the National School of Savings Banking in 1983, and the Executive Development Program in 1985. Throughout his career, Bill's commitment to the South Coast has been unwavering, and he has long been an active member of the community. He has volunteered for the United Way organizations throughout his entire career, serving as director of the Greater Fall River United Way for 20 years, and it's included 5 years as chair of the board, campaign chair of both the United Way of Fall River and the Greater New Bedford United Way in 2020 and 2021. This is a long list. He served on the USS Massachusetts Memorial Committee Board of Directors for 20 years and the Fall River Chamber of Commerce for 20 years, including 1 year as chair. Bill was a dedicated champion of Fall River Celebrates America, an annual community waterfront festival of music, games, rides, and entertainment that drove tourism and economic development to the city. Bill also worked closely with Patrolman Nero Farias as the treasurer of the Fall River Police Athletic League for 15 years, serving the youth of Fall River with numerous athletic programs. As chair of Building Hope for Heroes, Bill was instrumental in the success of the $1.3 million capital campaign for the Veterans Transition House. Bill served as president of the Council of South Coast Health Systems and was a member of the St. Joseph Church Finance Committee, so he had a lot to do, and he loved doing it. Under his leadership, the bank established the Bank 5 Scholarship Foundation as well. Bill and his brother Drew grew up in Fall River, and Bill graduated from Durfee High School in 1969. The Eccles household was one of hard work, and which Bill embraced from an early age. And if you talk to him, he loved telling the stories about how at 8 years old he would help his father paint and hang wallpaper. He used to hawk novelties and balloons at parades and caddy at Fall River Country Club, basically learning his work ethic at an early age. He also, I'm going to change the page. But I think the bottom line was his father taught him the value of hard work and the worth of a dollar. Bill is father to his daughter Erin and his son Billy. Bill is also the proud grandfather of 5 grandchildren, Dylan, Lily, Liam, Ava, and Hadley, and they're all here tonight. I asked Erin and Billy what I should say about their father tonight. And they said he was always there for any sporting event for us and for his grandchildren. He always had the best seat because he was the first one to get there, and he was never quiet, and he still isn't. He taught us to be responsible with money from a young age. He's always there when anyone needs a ride and wants an ice cream cone from Somerset Creamery. And he loves going to BJ's and buying junk food for the kids, even though we told him not to do it. We admire his work ethic and his commitment to the community. Bill's civic leadership and devotion earned him a number of awards along the way: the Brayton Community Service Award, the Carter Community Service Award, United Way Thomas Cooney Memorial Award, and the Valcourt Outstanding Citizen Award, and there's a few others in here as well. But lastly, I asked Erin and Billy for one final thing, and they said, well, you know, we're so proud of our father, but this is quite an accomplishment. However, respectfully, please don't give him any more. Bill currently resides in Swansea with his wife, Lynn, who is also a Durfee graduate. Bill has always been there for his family, friends, and community, and it's my pleasure to introduce Bill Eccles to you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Great job, Bob, although you did miss a few salient points, but almost just like I wrote it. Good evening. It's great to be back in the halls of the Hilltoppers. I would like to thank the BMC Durfee High School Alumni Association for this distinguished honor. In addition, a big thank you to Lisa Lundy Kuznets for nominating me for this award, and also for her success as the president of the Durfee Alumni Association. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge some of these following individuals. Robert F. Collins, retired Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Bank 5, the Honorable Paul Coogan, Mayor of the great city of Fall River. The next individual probably doesn't need any introduction, but seeing I'm going before the Karam girls, I will make this comment. As I am sure you are all aware, the New England Patriots had Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, but not to be outdone, the Durfee Hilltoppers had Skip Karam, the GOAT, the greatest of all time high school basketball coaches in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Representing distinguished alumnus Thomas Skip Karam are his daughters Jennifer Karam Medeiros and Elizabeth McCarthy. So let's have a big round of applause for Mr. Karam. All right. Bob Collins mentioned all the odd jobs I had while growing up, but I do have one quick story to share. My first tax-paying job was at R.A. McQueer Company, located on South Main Street in the heart of downtown Fall River, when downtown Fall River was the hot spot to go on Friday nights. Jimmy Karam can certainly attest to that. I was hired as an advertising billing clerk. I ran proofs of ads to various department heads for their sign-offs and printed the monthly billing statements for the store. Working there, I had my first encounter with Paul Coogan. He was a stockroom delivery clerk on the same floor where I worked, delivering inventory to the numerous departments at the store. Throughout the day, you would see the mayor pushing this old wooden cart around the store making deliveries. Who would have thought back then that these two clerks, one from the Ruggles Park area and the other from the North End Housing Project, would become a mayor of a city and a bank president and CEO? Not me, that's for sure, but anything is possible, seniors. And finally, the real reason we are here tonight. The scholarship recipients of the 2025 graduating class of Durfee High School. Congratulations, graduates. Today is not just a celebration of your achievements, but a recognition of your potential. Receiving a scholarship is more than just the financial support. It is a vote of confidence in who you are and who you are becoming. You have completed your journey through the public school system and have demonstrated by determination and hard work that you are ready for the next chapter of your life. But let's not forget how you have gotten that far. The guidance of your parents who have advised you and supported you to this point. The Fall River educators who have provided you with state-of-the-art instruction and the skills needed to move forward. The City of Fall River and taxpayers who have assured the financial means in providing the best possible administration, educators, and infrastructure for your future. As you step into the next chapter of your life, remember, now these quotes are from the famous Notre Dame football coach, Lou Holtz. Your talent determines what you can do, your motivation determines how much you are willing to do, and your attitude determines how well you will do it. So these are some comments from myself and some of my other presidents that we've used throughout the years, and I hope that some of them will stick with you after this evening. Whether it's the Roberts, the Catherines, the Andreas, the Stephanies, the Susans, the Gregorys, or the Kellys, you are only as good as those individuals you work with and those who work for you. It takes a team to be successful. Stay curious. Take advantage of educational opportunities that are offered to you to perfect and improve your employment skills. Lead with integrity. Your character will define your success far more than any title or degree. Embrace challenges, be involved, participate, volunteer, create contacts, broaden your network with individuals who are willing to share their experiences and knowledges, all means that will assist you throughout your careers. Be grateful. Don't forget your parents. Stay in touch. Run things by them. They have a lifetime of learning experience. They just might surprise you. Keep in touch with your teachers. A wealth of knowledge just for the asking. Teachers do like to hear from their former students. Remember your roots, where you came from, how you got to where you're going. Share your experiences with others. Be proud of your city, your heritage, and most importantly, be proud and confident of yourself. The scholarship is not just a reward, it is a responsibility. Carry it with pride, humility, and the unwavering belief that your story is just getting started. Wishing you all congratulations, a positive and fruitful college experience, and a successful, prosperous career. Make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Congratulations again. I'd like to now ask Kristen Garvin to come to the podium to introduce the next distinguished alumnus.
Good evening. I am here to introduce Mr. Thomas Skip Karam. When I ran into Mr. Karam a few years ago at the beach, and I told him what my position here at Durfee was in athletics, he said to me, "They let girls do that now?" I think he was kidding. It is both an honor and a privilege to introduce a truly remarkable individual whose name is synonymous with excellence, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to the game of basketball, Durfee, and more importantly, to the lives of countless student athletes. When you think of Durfee High School basketball, one name stands above the rest. Coach Thomas Skip Karam, the winningest coach in the school's storied history. His legacy is etched in the rafters of the fieldhouse, where countless victories and championship banners stand as a testament to his relentless drive, unmatched leadership, and commitment to the game. Today, we gather to honor not just a coach, but a true legend, someone whose passion for basketball and dedication to his players has shaped generations. As he receives the Distinguished Alumni Award, we celebrate a man whose impact extends far beyond the court, leaving an indelible mark on every athlete fortunate enough to wear the red and black under his guidance. Born and raised in Fall River, Skip Karam is the oldest of 3 boys who grew up in a tenement in the Flint neighborhood. His father immigrated from Lebanon and met his soon-to-be wife, and they settled in her hometown of Fall River. He attended Aldrich School, Davis School, and graduated from BMC Durfee High School in 1953. After 1 year at Tabor, he then went on to Providence College and played basketball for the Friars during the 1955-56 season. But after having to hitchhike home after too many practices, he decided it was too much. He received his BA in 1958 and his MA from Bridgewater State College in 1965. He would follow his former coach's footsteps as Durfee's head basketball coach. At just 26 years old, he was terrified to follow the great Luke Urban. In the winter of 1960, Skip began what would become one of the most successful coaching careers in Massachusetts high school history. In his first season, he led the Hilltoppers to 16 straight wins and ended it with playing at the Boston Garden. Shortly after, he was offered a position of vice principal at Durfee while continuing to coach. It was then that his daughter Jen asked to transfer to Stank. It did not take long for him to reach the Boston Garden again. And in 1966, just 8 years after his coaching career, 8 years into his coaching career, he took his team to the final game and this time brought the state championship home to Fall River. Skip, who was no stranger to playing on championship teams, was creating quite the following. Back then, they were playing at the Bank Street Armory, and the Hilltoppers were packing them in to an often standing room-only gym that was bursting at the seams. It would take 11 years before there would be another banner hanging from the rafters, but in 1977, they not only took the state title, but finished with an impressive 26-0 record. 2 years later, the Toppers would make the move to Ellsbury Street, and starting in the 1978-1979 season, Skip and his boys would fill an even larger field house. In the spring of 1978, the new Durfee opened in the north end of the city, and the field house with a capacity of over 2,000 was dedicated to Skippy's former coach and mentor, the great Luke Urban. With this move, we would see Durfee churn out some unbelievably talented teams and quite possibly Coach Karam's most successful decade. If you lived in the area in the 1980s, you were most likely at an often sold-out Durfee basketball game on a Tuesday or Friday night. The new building seemed to only add to Durfee's rich basketball tradition. These kids were tough, well-coached, and grew up playing together. From 1984 to 1989, Skip would add 3 more state championship banners. Not only did they bring the state championship title home in 1984, 1988, and 1989, but 84 and 89 were again undefeated, and 88 only saw 1 loss early on in the season, which led the Toppers to a record-breaking 46 consecutive victories. Although 1989 would be the last championship Skip's team would win, he continued to develop phenomenal athletes, not only in basketball, but across all of Durfee athletics. Karam became the first full-time athletic director in Durfee's history, and after handing the reins off to his longtime assistant, Coach Bob Dempsey, in 1995, he stayed in the AD role until his retirement. In his 36 years at Durfee, Karam was not only successful, he became a legend in the athletic arena. In his distinguished career as the head coach of the BMC Durfee High School boys basketball team, he amassed 659 wins, 35 trips to the state tournament, 7 appearances in the championship game, and 5 state championships. That's an 85% winning record, or an average of 18 wins per season for 36 years. He has developed and mentored athletes that have gone on to play at Boston University, University of Maine, Stonehill, Boston College, Merrimack, and the University of Richmond, to name a few. With one, of course, going on to play for the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics. He was the first coach in Massachusetts history to win 500 games and was inducted to the BMC Durfee Athletics Hall of Fame, Massachusetts Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame, and the New England Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. He was honored again in 2019 when the New England Basketball inducted him into the Legends Hall of Fame. In recognition of his contributions, the basketball court at Durfee High School was rededicated in his honor in December 2021. Additionally, the annual Thomas Skip Karam Holiday Tournament is held at Durfee each December, celebrating his legacy and fostering community engagement through basketball. Coach Karam's enduring impact on high school basketball in Fall River is evident through these honors and the continued celebration of his contributions to the sport. Although Skip could not be here this evening, we honor him along with his wife of 66 years, Betty DeFusco Karam, his 3 children, Jennifer Karam Medeiros, her husband Kevin, Elizabeth Karam McCarthy and her husband Jay, and the late Thomas John Karam. his grandchildren, Matthew, Ryan, and Samantha Medeiros, and his great-granddaughter, Mia Lee Medeiros, along with his brothers, Jim and Bob, his nieces and nephews, his great-nieces and nephews who have joined us tonight to honor him. Tonight, we celebrate the induction of a Durfee High School alumnus whose legendary coaching career has left an indelible mark on the high school sports in Massachusetts and beyond. His legacy is etched not only in the record books, but in the hearts of players, families, and communities he has touched. His dedication, discipline, and passion for the game have elevated his teams to greatness, and his mentorship has shaped generations of young athletes into leaders on and off the court. Finally, as Thomas Skip Karam accepts this Distinguished Alumni Award, he becomes the third of 3 brothers to be honored by the Durfee Alumni Association: James J. Karam, class of 1965, and Robert S. Karam, class of 1961. Congratulations to the Karam family. Tonight, the Durfee Alumni Association is proud to honor one of its own. Please join me in congratulating Thomas Skip Karam as he officially is inducted into the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
Don't worry, this isn't going to be long because he already told us it was too long. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our family, we are deeply honored to accept the Distinguished Alumni Award for our father. While he couldn't be here with us tonight, we know without a doubt how much this recognition means to him. And we are so proud to stand here and share this moment with all of you. Durfee High School, and especially Durfee basketball, holds a very special place in our dad's heart. It wasn't just where he went to school, it was where his passion for competition, leadership, and community truly came to life. Our father is a true competitor in every sense of the word. He has always loved the game of basketball, not just for the sport itself, but for what it represents. He embraced the challenge, the strategy, the teamwork, and yes, he truly loved to win. There was something about stepping onto that court, representing Durfee, and giving everything he had that brought him joy, pride, and purpose. But it was never just about the game. It was about the people, the players, the teammates who became lifelong friends, the coaches who shaped his character, and the fans who filled the gym with energy. He often talks about how the city of Fall River always rallied around his teams. That support meant the world to him. The pride this city has and takes in its athletes and in Durfee itself is something he continues to carry with him. Durfee helped shape the man that he is today. Whether on the court or off of it, he brought the same drive and commitment and sense of team to everything he did. And even as the years have passed, Durfee has never left him. His connection to this school and to this city and to its traditions remains very strong as ever. To say our father bleeds red and black is not just a phase. It is who he is. He has lived it, breathed it, and continues to wear it with pride. Durfee isn't just part of our father's past. It's part of his identity. So tonight, we accept this Distinguished Alumni Award on his behalf, and we do so with full hearts and deep gratitude. Thank you for honoring him and for recognizing the impact he has made, not only as an athlete, but as someone who has always loved this school and this community with everything he has. We know he is incredibly proud, and if he could, he'd probably be calling out one more play from the sidelines. Well, let's get real. He'd probably be yelling at some referee. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen and Liz. Before we conclude tonight, I'd just like to mention that the Durfee Alumni Association will be holding its first multi-class reunion on Saturday, June 28th, right here at the high school. And if anyone would like to purchase tickets, our fellow board member, Missy Panchley, will be out in the lobby with tickets to sell. Can I have a motion to conclude this session? Second? Thank you. All in favor? Can we conclude with the Durfee alma mater, please? Thank you, Ms. Turgeon, Durfee High Orchestra. Great job. Thank you all for coming tonight. Could you please allow our guests on the stage and the scholarship recipients to leave the auditorium first? Thank you.